This is the Ryzen 9 3900X. And she's Hackintoshed. Yeah, guys. This thing is unbelievable. So there we go. That's our kind of cool little case here. Got this little switch on the top. You can change your RGB. Kind of cute. But what's more important? Under the hood. There it is. Man, that's nice. That is one massive processor, let me tell you guys. She's a beauty. Well, on this one we're going to do it all. We are going to build the USB on this one, the bootloader with Opencore. And guys, this is so easy, you're all going to want to go out and buy one. So, what do you say we get started with this one? Let's go. Okay guys, here we are. Now, we're going to show you everything because, you know, we've got some new subscribers coming on and they haven't seen videos yet, so we want to show them everything. So you've downloaded all of the files on my website and you're ready to build your USB, and we're doing this on Windows. Now I am going to be doing a video probably this week to show you guys how to do this on a Mac, but right now I'm going to show you this one on Windows. And guys, be careful, there's a lot of changes going on with Opencore. I'm staying up on it, but it's going to be different than my previous videos, so be careful and make sure you're using the right files, okay? So let's go ahead and install Python, and we want to make sure we add Python 3.8 to path. So click right there, click on custom install. Make sure everything is checked, then click next. And then go ahead and check install for all users and click install. All right. So guys, this one, this thing is something else, let me tell you. We're on it right now. I'm building this USB with the Ryzen 9 3900X. And I cannot tell you how fast this is. You're just going to have to wait and see. We are going to have benchmarks, but I'm going to do a separate, very special benchmark video for putting this one with a shootout with the i9 9900K. And that's going to include Final Cut Pro benchmark, Adobe Premiere benchmark, all the things that you guys have been asking for, Logic Pro X, so it's going to be a little bit of a lengthy one. Okay guys, before we move on to the next step, I want you to make sure that you format your thumb drive. So just go to your thumb drive and just right click on it and click Format and click Start, and that is going to enable this Gib macOS to find your thumb drive, because sometimes you'll get an error message. Okay, so now we're formatted. So let's go to the Gib macOS. We double click on that, and then we go in here, double click, and what we want to do is right click on Gib macOS.bat. Now if yours doesn't have the .bat, just go up here to where it says View, and let me stretch this out a little bit so you can see everything. Make sure these two boxes are checked, and that way you can show hidden files. Okay, so let's right click on it, open or run as administrator. All right, now what this is doing, this program is going out and finding these different operating systems. This is Catalina, Mojave, High Sierra, but we want to just get the full install. So type R and hit enter. Now it's going to rescan and look for full install. So I want Catalina 10.15.3, that's the latest version right now. That's number 5, and it says right there full install. If you hit one of these other ones, like this is an update, then it's not going to be the right size. So right now it's number 5. So we go down here, type 5, and hit enter. Now you're going to hit yes to download it. I've already downloaded it, so I don't need to. So once that is downloaded, you're ready to move on to the next step. The next step is to go to in the same Gib macOS master folder. You're going to right click on make install.bat, run as administrator, and then right here you're going to see your drives. Now number 2 right here is my SanDisk Cruiser, and that's what I'm going to put the USB bootloader on. I'm not going to choose this other drive, which is one of my other hard drives. So I'm going to select number 2, and then right here it says COIEUGD. I'm going to select O to use Opencore instead of Clover, and that's O and not 0. Hit enter. It's going to warn you that everything is going to be erased on your thumb drive. Make sure that right here it is your thumb drive and not some other hard drive you've got hooked up. Yes, and go. All right, now we can go ahead and close this. Now the program is asking me, where is the Catalina that I downloaded? Well, it's right under here under macOS downloads in your Gib macOS master folder. So just double click, right here I've got Catalina. I want you to just highlight it, go to home and click copy path, and then go over here and right click into the command prompt and hit enter. Now this is going to extract the Catalina files and everything, and it's going to make your bootloader. So it says right here, this may take some time, and it does take 15-20 minutes, just depending on the speed of your computer and the speed of your USB stick. Okay, so as soon as this is done, we'll come back. Okay guys, so what you're going to notice is, you're going to notice that now you have a drive called boot. And this has an EFI folder in it, and a couple of other folders that we need to work with. So the first thing we need to do is, we need to update some files that come by default in the current download of the macOS that we just did. So in here, you've got a file called bootx64.efi. That is an older file. So in our new, right here, we have the new Opencore 0.5.6, the debug version. This has, under EFI, under boot, it has the new bootx64 EFI file, and look at the size difference, 33 kilobytes, 9 kilobytes. So we need the newest version. So let's just copy this and put it into our boot folder and replace it. So now we got the right one in there. Okay, let's go up to the Opencore. Same problem here. So let's go to the Opencore on the Opencore 5.6 debug folder, and let's look at opencore.efi. So here's the new one, 512 kilobytes. The old one is 333. It's not going to work, guys. So let's copy this one and paste it into our USB. Okay, that one's done. Now, I want you to go under the Tools folder. Some of you guys are missing this, and delete these. Just get rid of them. All right? Okay. Now we go back to Kext. There's nothing there. We're going to do that in a second. Drivers. Here's another situation. So what I want you to do is go ahead and delete all of these. Okay? And then in your drivers folder on your Opencore 5.6, I want you to grab the FW Funtime Services and copy it into your drivers folder. All right. Next thing we need to do is we need a couple more drivers. So in my drivers folder that you downloaded, we're going to grab two more. We're going to grab this APFS driver loader. We're going to copy it, put it in here, and hfsplus.efi. We're going to copy it and put it in here. That's all we need for drivers for this build. Okay? All right, let's close out of here. Now let's go up to Kext. All right, we're still on my boot, right? So here's the Kext folder that you downloaded. And we need all of these. Now, what do we have right here? We've got Apple ALC, which is for audio. We've got Lilu and Whatever Green, which take care of a lot of graphics issues. We've got Realtek RTL 8111, which this motherboard has a Realtek RTL 8111 Ethernet controller. And Virtual SMC Kext is what we need to even boot the system. So let's copy all of these and drop them into folder. There we go, guys. Now we need to do one more thing. I should not have closed that, so open that back up. Under Docs in our Opencore 0.5.6, we need to grab the sample.plist and put it right in our OC folder. Now let's rename it to config.plist. So I'm just going to rename it. All right. We're moving along now. Okay, so next thing we need to do is open up property. Okay, double click and then right click on property.bat, run as admin. I'll just move this over there. Okay, so now I'm going to go to File, Open, and then go to my boot, double click on EFI, double click on OC, and grab my config.plist. Okay, so here we go. I can go ahead and close this. I can go ahead and close this. Now this is where the work comes in, guys. We got a little bit of work to do. So let us go over to the internet and go to the Opencore Vanilla Guide webpage. And we are on this beautiful AMD, and we're going to go down here to AMD. Now we've already downloaded all of these files that it says we're going to need. And I'm going to show you how to build this whole thing. So let's go down here to ACPI. Now in my other Opencore Ryzen systems, we were doing a dump of a DSDT using SSDT time. We don't need to do it on this one. So we're just going to go right down here to grab our SSDT-EC-USBX. We have to compile this file. And then here, the other one that we need is a file we can download. So let's go ahead and grab this one. We'll just click on this and then click download. And I've got it now. All right. So let's go back here and let's go into this page. Now here we have to compile this DSL. So what I want you to do is I want you to open up Notepad. Have it ready. And then I want you to go on this page and go down to the bottom here and start here highlighting all the way up until you get to definition block. Don't copy any of this other stuff with the star forward slashes. And just right click and copy, and then right click and paste it into Notepad. All right, so now what we need to do is go to File, Save As, and make sure you're saving it to your desktop and into your IASL-Win folder. And we're going to name it what they call it. All right, so we'll name it SSDT-EC-USBX and hit enter. Okay, we can go ahead and close Notepad. So let's go over here and grab that file we downloaded. It's right here, and we're going to put it into our same IASL-win file. So just grab it, put it in there. Now, with this system, we only have to compile one text file. So what I want you to do is go to your prompt down here and grab a command prompt. Just type in COM, and there you go. All right. So we want to just go ahead and click right here next to iasl.exe and go home, copy path, right click, and then hit the space bar. And then right next to SSDT-EC-USBX.txt, we need to do the same thing. Home, copy path, right click, and then hit enter. Now what it just did is compile it to a .aml file, and that's what we need. So we're going to go back over here to our folder. This is getting very confusing, so I'm going to close this window for you. There we go. All right, so I need to go back over here to our boot folder, open up a new window, and we have to put these two files under EFI, OC, ACPI. We need to drag them into here, guys. So there we go. I hope that wasn't too confusing. Okay, so we're done with all of that. So now I want you to go ahead and go File, and then OC Snapshot. And then click OC, and then click on Select Folder. Now that just made a bunch of changes to our setup here. But one thing we need to do, right here under ACPI, we need to look right here at that file that we compiled. We need to change this to true. Make sure you do that or we're going to have problems, okay? All right, now let's go back to the wonderful Opencore guys. These guys are geniuses. And let's continue configuring our config.plist. So the first thing we want to do, since we're done with ACPI, is move on to ACPI and go down here until you see it says quirks. Right here. I just need you to verify that everything here, there's no equals false on your config.plist. Yes equals true. So make sure no, everything is false. So we're good there. Booter, which is right there. We're going to go, everything is fine. We just need to go down here to quirks and make sure everything is as it shows here. So false, let's see. Go down here to enable safe mode slider. Yep, true. The next one's true. And then no, and then provide custom slide. That's true. Set up virtual map, true. No, and no. So we're good there, guys. Let's go down to kernel. Okay, here's kernel. So we're going to go down here. All of this is fine, so we can skip this. Now, we come here to where we have to put in a patch. Now, this is a little different than other systems we've done. So we'll go down here until we see patch. I want you to just click, a regular click next to the word patch, right click, and remove patch and children. All right, then I want you to go back and just have this window open so you can see the word kernel. Now I want you to go to File, Open, and in the files that you downloaded, you're going to see 17H-patches. Just double click on that and then double click on the 17H patches. And we need to copy from where it says patch. So just left click, a regular click, where it says next to patch, right click, copy, then go back over here to your config.plist, regular click on kernel, right click, and paste. Okay, we just patched our config.plist. We're done there. So that's this section. Okay, let's move on down here to the quirks under, right here we are, kernel. We want to go to quirks. Right here. So, no. Dummy power management. Dummy power management needs to be true. No. And then panic, no kex dump, true. And then the next one is true. And the XHCI needs to be true. Port limit. Okay, now we're in miscellaneous section. Scroll down. So right there, miscellaneous. All right, so we want to check where it says boot. We want to check all of these. I think they're all fine by default. Hide self, true. No. Yeah. So we're good on these. So we'll go down here to delay is 0, timeouts 5, debug, we have some changes. So double click on disable watchdog and click true. Then you'll see here it says target here. So change this while we're here, target to 67. And then I want you to go where it says display level, grab this right here, just copy this, and then change display, control V to paste it in there and enter. So that's done. Okay, now security. This first one right here, allow NVRAM reset needs to be yes. Allow set default needs to be yes. No, 6. This is very important and a lot of guys miss this. This has to be changed from secure to optional or you'll get an error in your boot. Scan policy has to be 0. Enter. Okay, let's move on. NVRAM, right here, we're in NVRAM. Okay, this number's fine. Everything here is fine. Boot args. Okay, this is where, you know, when the computer's booting, this is that -V, which means verbose. So that's all that text you see on the screen. And if you want to get rid of that when you're done, then you'll come back to your config.plist and you can edit that out. You can just take out the -V. But right now, we need to make some changes. We need to add in debug equals 0 times 100. Make sure there's a space between them. Space. Now it says here to put this in, this NPCI. Now you only need to do this if you don't know if you're above 4G decoding is enabled or not. Most BIOSes now have this, and this board does have this because we want this enabled, so we don't need this NPCI. We don't need this one either for this motherboard, but we do need this for our audio. ALCID equals 1 and Command V. There we go. All right, let's move on. Let's go down here where it says language, right here. Right now it's in Russian, so if you want to change it to English, go ahead and grab this text, copy, double click, Control V, and now it's in English. Okay guys, we're getting there. We're getting there. We're almost done. Stay with me. Don't fall asleep. All right, let's get down here to write flash. Write flash needs to be true. Okay, platform info. Really important. All of these are important, but this is where we need to change something. This is a monster machine, so we need to go ahead and just change this right here. See where it says Mac Pro 5, 1? double click that and type in iMac, just like I have it, Pro 1, 1, and hit enter. Now that's set properly for this machine. Right here, system serial number. Right now it's all set to zeros. The system UUID, all zeros. And up here the MLB, which is also known as a board serial number, all zeros. Guys, unless you change these after you're done, you have to come back in, and I'm going to show you at the end of the video. Unless you change these, you're not going to get iMessage, the Apple Store, log in into Apple. You're not going to get anything to work because Apple's going to kind of know that you're not on a real Mac. So we have to change those. But we'll come back to that. So let's go down here. If you'll notice, it goes kind of back up. Automatic is set to true. So these are all fine. Spoof, true. I've looked at these. Update data hub, true, 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 and create. So we're good there. UEFI. Connect drives. True. Just scroll right on down here. Audio. I think these are all by default. They're fine. Yep. 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 Input. Right here. 5.2. Da da da. True, true, true. Auto. No, no, no. Asus. And leave it like it is. Output. Built-in graphics. Blank. Max. False, false, false. Provide console GOP. Yep, it is true. No, 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 no. Okay, let's go down here to protocols. We're just checking these. We're fine. Quirks. All right, delay is 0. No, no. Okay, request boot var fallback. Has to be true. You double click those, by the way, and that'll come up. And then request boot var true. All right. That's it, guys. We are done. Now, if you just close this and don't save it, you have to start over. File, save. Just file, save. Not save as, just file and save. All right. Fantastic. You did it. We are done. Now, what do you say we get into the BIOS on this one, and I'll show you what needs to be changed. Really important on this one. Okay, guys, so we hit that delete key to get into the BIOS, just like all the rest of them. All right, first thing I want you to do is go down here to Save and Exit, and I want you to load Restore Defaults. Now, these Restore Defaults, this is what you should have had it set up to boot into Windows. But for Hackintosh, it's totally different. So once we loaded the defaults, we hit Escape and go back to the first screen. And here, there's nothing to change. Let's go to Advanced. PCI subsystem settings. We have to make sure above 4G memory is enabled. Okay. ACPI, there's nothing to do. Integrated peripherals. We want to go ahead and turn off the Wi-Fi module because unfortunately it's not supported in this macOS. AHCI mode should come up as default, and of course we've got our audio controller down here enabled. Let's go out of here and we're going to go to USB configuration. Everything there by default is fine. Super I/O. So go ahead and disable that serial port. Okay, power management. Right now, I'm going to go ahead and turn this to enable, and that's it. Windows OS configuration, make sure you change this to UEFI mode, okay? And then just check under here, secure boot, make sure it's disabled. Wake up, event, startup, or setup, I'm sorry. Go ahead and enable everything. This is to wake the computer up when it has gone to sleep. So that should take care of that issue. All right, we don't do anything under overclocking. I'm not overclocking this system, so let's go to boot. Make sure everything here is just as you see it, and it was by default. It's fine. Now, if you want to go under here, under boot option number 1, and change this to your USB drive, it's probably a good idea. So there we go. Security, nothing to do here. Save and exit. Let's go down and save changes and reboot. Let's make sure you have your USB stick in the system that we just built. And let's hit enter, say yes to everything. Now the system's going to kind of shut down and restart a couple of times to have all of those BIOS changes take effect. So just sit tight here for a second. I'm going to wait for it to come back up. And I always like to press the F11 key to just go ahead and see that boot menu. I've got a hard drive connected to this system that I'm going to erase that has something on it. So I'm going to make sure that I'm booting from my SanDisk USB. So we're still waiting for it to reset itself. Okay, there it comes. All right. So right there, SanDisk partition 1, hit enter. And it's going to go through all of this crazy different text. It's different than Clover and the old version of Opencore. So it's kind of cool. It does all of these things before it even gets to where we select what to boot from. So we'll just wait here a second. It'll come up in a second here to the first boot. It's fast, isn't it, guys? All right. So I want to go down here to Mac OS Base System External and hit enter. All right. It's going to go through here, and it's fast, guys. Usually I pause the computer so you don't have to watch these screens, but this one is pretty quick. Okay, here it comes. Man, you talk about fast. This mother is fast. It's a great system. Okay, disk utility, continue. And then we want to click this down arrow and show all devices. And here's my little Pony hard drive, 240 gig. I'm going to erase that. So click erase. You can name your hard drive whatever you like. I'm going to call mine 3900X. And I'm going to change. We want to change this to APFS format and GUID partition map, just like the rest of them. Watch how fast this is. Whew. Okay. All right. Make sure that your Ethernet cable is plugged in, or you may get an error message when you try to install that says you don't have internet. So click continue. Right here is where you would get that message. But I do have it connected, so I'm good. Agree, agree, choose your hard drive, and click install. Now, guys, for some reason, and I don't know why, this normally takes about 15 minutes, 10, 15 minutes on other systems. Maybe it's the Opencore. I don't know. I don't think so. I think it just has to do with this particular setup. But this takes about 20 minutes. 20 to 25 minutes. So just sit back, relax. It gets up to about here, and then it reboots on its own. Just like all the other ones, we want to leave our USB stick in there, and as soon as it reboots, I'll come back. Okay, guys, so we got about 5 minutes remaining. Let's see what happens here. Oh, there it goes. All right, we'll leave that USB in there. Gonna come back around here and boot up this time on the hard drive. It's really cool how it does all that now. It's totally different. Okay, So here it's going to show up as Mac OS installer. Just hit enter on that. And we'll get on to the next step. All right, here we go. Now we're moving on. Okay, here it'll do the same process as normal. It'll come up and give you an estimated time about how long. It says about 12 minutes, and that's about right. And it gets almost completely to the end. And then we're ready to move on. I'll be right back. Okay, guys, we're coming down here. 4 minutes remaining. Let's see what happens. And there she goes. All right, leave your memory stick in there. We still got to leave it in there because we got to come up again. But this time, we get to boot right in. We get to choose our country and get going. Okay, guys, so here we see my hard drive where it's named Cat 3900X. So we'll just hit enter on that. Okay. All right, now we got some fun. All right, let's go ahead and choose our country. And we'll just go through this. Don't want to transfer. Not gonna sign in with my Apple ID just yet. So we'll set up later and skip. Agree to the terms and conditions. Go ahead and name it. And put in a password. There we go. Change your picture if you want. All right, customize, always enable location services, and I turn off analytics. Same old stuff. Set screen time up later. Enable Siri. And we're going to choose dark mode on this one. Okay, all right. Now, guys, we do need Clover. We'll identify our keyboard. Okay, so I've got Clover on this other USB stick. Let me stick that in real quick. Okay, just copy this over to your desktop. And then we want to use this just to mount our EFI partition on the hard drive. So right click, or it'll give you that error message, and then open. Okay, then go over here, mount EFI, and we want to mount the Cat 3900, which is the hard drive. Put in your password, and open partition. So there it is, there's nothing in it. So what we want to do is go back to the boot, which is our USB boot partition, and copy the EFI folder into the hard drive. EFI partition. Now we can boot without the USB stick. Okay? So let's close out of Clover. Restart. And let's see if that worked. Okay, so we are rebooting, booting back up. We just got to get up to the menu where it asks, what do you want to boot from? And there it is. So I want to boot from my hard drive. Wow, that is fast. Never seen text go across like that. Not even on the i9 Intel 9900K. Okay, we are up Put in our password. And let's take a look at a couple of things. So let's go over here about this Mac. And there it is. Showing my Vega 56 8GB, 32 gigs of RAM, and 3.8 gigahertz iMac Pro. Catalina 10.15.3. Now, guys, on your other USB stick, I hope you did like I did, you've got a couple of files. So, the files that we need on that are proper tree and Gen SM BIOS master. So if you can grab those, put them on a thumb drive or put them on another hard drive or something, or just re-download them. We're going to need those because we're going to change the serial numbers on this thing. So let's open up proper tree, and we want to double click on propertree.command allow. Okay, then go up here to File, Open, and we're going to go to our EFI folder on the hard drive. But look, guys, it's not showing. That's because we got to go back into Clover, because I restarted, and open up the partition. Put in your password. There we go. All right, now proper tree will be able to find it, and there it is. So, File, Open, EFI, OC, config.plist, and click Open. Perfect. Okay, now, what we want to do is, we want to go down here. Let's go ahead and minimize some of these so we can get into here. Let's minimize these till we get to platform. Okay. So here we go, MLB. All right, so double click on Gen SM BIOS, and then double click on gensmbios.com, press number 3, and hit enter. Now, it's asking us what kind of a Mac we're on. So we're going to type in our iMac Pro 1,1 and hit enter. Okay, so there, it just generated us a new serial number, a board number, which is also known as the MLB, and a UUID. So let's go ahead and copy the serial number right there. Copy, and go over here, guys, and this is the MLB, so serial number right there, system. Double click, and if you're on a Windows style keyboard, then hit the Windows key, which is between Control and Alt, and V, and that'll copy it in there. Hit enter. Now let's go up here and get the board number. Copy that. Double click, Windows key, V, and then right here we need the UUID. Copy, double click, and there we go. Enter. Now make sure you go ahead and save it. That's it. Now when you restart, you should be able to get into your app with your Apple ID. You should be able to get into the Apple Store and iMessage and everything else, and everything should work. So what do you think? We are going to do the benchmarks on this on another video against the i9-9900, but I want to show you a couple of benchmarks. Okay guys, let's start with Cinebench. I'm just going to show you a couple of benchmarks. Now, I am running the OBS screen capture software in the background, but if you look right here, when I wasn't on OBS, I got 7301, better than the Windows score, which is unbelievable. 7301. Let's see what happens while I'm on OBS running in the background. You're not going to believe how fast this is. The fans just kicked in because they know they have to go to work. All right. So we're also going to be doing Logic Pro. We're going to be doing Adobe Premiere. And I'm going to, in this video, just for fun, I'm going to show you Final Cut. So many people have asked me to give them a Final Cut score. So I'm going to do it for you before we end with this video. So we'll do this, and then Geekbench, and then Final Cut. Okay. All right, so I lost about 300 points because I'm running the OBS in the background. But if you look at that, that is an amazing score. So we're above the Ryzen Threadripper, guys. The 1950X 16 core. Not bad, huh? All right, let's go out of here. I don't want to save that score. And then Geekbench. We'll run this, and I'll come back, guys, when this is done. Okay, guys, I'm back. Here we go, 1237 single core, 10678. Let's look and see where we are. Benchmark. Okay, how about an iMac 27-inch early 2019 i9 9900K. So we're right there with the 9900K. Multi-score, we're at 10.6. 10.6. Well, we're above an iMac Pro from 17. We're in between the two iMac Pros. One has a little faster Xeon processor in it, 14 core. These are amazing scores. Now, I got some little funny story to tell you. I was on the internet. I was checking out this YouTube video of this guy running Final Cut Pro. And I thought, oh, okay, that's, you know, since I'm not a Final Cut Pro guru, that would be a good benchmark for all my, you know, subscribers. So I watched him do it, and then he does a stopwatch, which we're going to do too. So I'm going to go over here to Google and get a stopwatch. Stopwatch. Okay, there's one. All right, so let me minimize this down. Get this small so you guys can see it. All right. Now, I'll keep it over here. Okay, so I went ahead and did this benchmark, and I thought, okay, well, let me see if I can beat their scores. Okay, their scores, the time to render this 5K video was about 1.5 minutes. So let's see where we are with this system. Go up here to File, Share, Master File, and here it is. So this is what we're going to be rendering. And we go over here to Settings and make sure it's set to this setting. And this is resolution is 5120 by 2700. Okay, I'm going to click Next, and it's going to start the render. So I'm going to go ahead and click Start as soon as I do. And save to the desktop. Okay, now it'll pop up when it's done, but I'm going to show you right here. There it is, rendering. Okay, so I think we're going to beat 1.5 minutes. Okay, guys, get out of my way. It was like 16 seconds. 16 seconds to do this thing. I didn't get to the stopwatch quick enough. But can you believe that? So for all you Final Cut guys, I think this is your machine. Guys, thanks so much for watching. I appreciate you. Like and subscribe if you like this video. And we will see you on the next video. I've got a lot of cool things coming out. Of course, we're going to do our benchmark shootout with this system and the i9. I'm going to try to set up the computers side by side so we can look at the monitors right next to each other and do tests like this. Guys, we'll see you on the next one.